Well, hey y'all, I am going to do two things. First of all, I put on a scarf because I cannot seem to get these wider shirts just because when you're a little large in the top, it's it's like I have to get an XL and like little stretchy shirts like this, and then the boat collar is just so wide that my bra strap always showing. So anyway, for filming, I may just go pin it. But anyway, did I give myself my coffee? I did. I'd had to do a refill. But this, whenever I do a second cup, I always do decaf. And this is the Krispy Kreme decaf, and it is so yummy, y'all. It is a Keurig. I know that there's a controversy about the plastic, but I never get that. Because then you put a biodegradable one, you put that in a plastic trash bag, which that's what goes in the landfill. A plastic trash bag that never breaks down, so whatever's inside, it doesn't even matter. I don't know, maybe that's not true. Maybe they send it to a compostable place if you have your garbage picked up to do that. We don't have that service, so that I know of. I guess it's out there. I guess you have to pay extra to have that service. Is that how it works? One of the things you'll see is that I'm also adding an extra touch of mascara because I just didn't feel like I had on enough. I had like 1.5. And when I say a half, I kind of only lightly did the second coat because I didn't feel like I needed it just for every day. But now me and my husband are going to be going to a movie later, which I only just found out. We're going to go see, I think, Star Wars or either The Greatest Showman. I think probably Star Wars. But, and so I do want my eyes to show up a little better if I'm going out. Even if it's just casual, or even if it's just jeans. You know? So anyway, this is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and I really do like it now. I'm adding a third coat, or whatever, a second hard coat, over already dried mascara, so it's a little crumbly, and it's more likely to crumb when you do that. You know, just touching up the ends of the lower lash line so that they will look more. Bria's definitely wanting to play ball. Bria, no ma'am, we don't do barkies. We don't do barkathons. No ma'am. Okay, now I'm going to have to fix a couple of things. Where's the boo-boo there? Where's my cloth? A little blink there. A little blink there. If you rub up, it's just a little crumbly. It's probably because dog hair in the air. Dog hair in the air. I rub up like this, and that gets any little boo-boos that I have. If you rub up toward the lash line, then they're not as prominent there. There. Now I feel like I can talk to y'all. Okay. So as y'all saw, this will probably be multi-part because I made a decision about something. I'm doing a series on if you could only of each category, one shampoo, one conditioner, one perfume, one nail polish brand, one hairbrush, one skincare, you know, and then within the skincare, the different things, one concealer, one everything, what would you use? And there's just one group that I can't get it down to one. And so I'm just going to show you some of my favorites. And then I will tell you if I absolutely had to choose right now what's my current favorite one, then I would. I left off concealer on my last video, and even though I love the Maybelline Age Rewind because of the little sponge, and it's just a good formula, it is a little thick. And so on concealer, it is the Rimmel Match Perfection, and this is in color number 230, which is the light or fair light. And it also contains vitamin C, E, and it wears for up to 13 hours. And all I have to say is it does have a brush applicator instead of a sponge applicator, and you could use it that way. I like to put it on my finger, blot it to my other finger. I use my ring finger, so it's just really lightly applied. Smear it on because it's almost like a creamy water base. It's not sticky at all, gel-like at all. It's not a heavy cream. It's just kind of like a very light, like water cream. It's just so thin, which is what you want for concealer. You don't want a heavy concealer under your eyes because it makes them look more wrinkledy. So you smear it on, and because when you first go on, it moves easily, it's okay to smear it, and then you start dotting it in. You start pushing it in, and then I change fingers, go over it once more, and that takes some of the product off, and then I pull down. When I say pull down, I just mean I fan out the edges. And then any extra, I'll go from opposite sides to this nose area, and then go down on this wrinkle right here, and my mouth, and right there. And sometimes you can go between your eyebrows, or just on your forehead up there, just to bring a little brightness. When I put it on, I always go right past my eyes so that it gets this area back here bright and this area up here bright without adding highlighter. Because when you're older, if you add highlighter, it should be almost below right here, so you get a little bit of a shimmer, but really all it does is highlight. So you're highlighting your wrinkles, y'all. But if you use a concealer, it's brighter, so there's a brightening around here without it being shiny enough to show the wrinkle creases. So this is my number one concealer. I didn't talk about when I was talking about hand care, like hand creams, I didn't talk about nail polishes. And y'all know I do have a favorite brand. I like Essie, and I like Sally Hansen a lot. There's a lot of lines I really like. I love Estee Lauder's packaging. There's a lot of packaging I like. But just the formula, and just, I know it's expensive, but this is my red, white, and blue. It is Chanel, hands down. And besides the fact that it's just beautiful Chanel packaging, it's very simple. I really do feel like the formula on these polishes is awesome. When I put it on, it stays on. I don't always need a top coat. I guess I could put a top coat on, it would last even longer. These are my three favorites. For red, or it's a pink red, it's Tintination. I don't even know if you can get this anymore, which kind of irks me. It's $5.41. I would even go out to eBay or wherever and try to find it at this point because I love it. It is a pink magenta red. It's not too pink, it's not red, it's a pink red. It is a true magenta, and I love it. It reminds me of the fingernails and the lips of Sleeping Beauty when I was growing up. I loved that color pink, and to this day, that is why I love that color pink. Second of all, y'all know that my biggest all-time favorite is the 667 Belle Argus. Again, it is a purple blue, like a royal violet blue. It is absolutely stunning. It changes when you move your finger. Sometimes it looks royal blue. Other times it almost has a violet tint to it. It is stunning at any time of year. Absolutely love it. If I'm going to wear a color that is not a norm, even though I do like blacks, I like really dark burgundies and wine colors. My hands down favorite color, even in the summer, because I do love Bikini Sotini and what's the other mint candy apple and Essie for summer, because they're just so summery colors. One's like a periwinkle blue lavender, and the other one is like a true mint green. But if I have to wear an unusual color, it is this beautiful blue, and I need to go find some more of it. I think Miss Piggy does Great Number, or her big number, Miss Piggy's Great Number, and OPI is almost identical to this, so it's a good dupe. And if you can't get this anymore, then get that. The only nude that I think I've ever liked is this, and I'm sure it's limited edition, but it is color number 504. It's Organdie. Remember when I told y'all I couldn't find it? It's because I had it sitting back here in the backdrop. And I was like, where is that? And that is what I'm fixing to put on. But if I had to say, if you could only pick one nail polish, and it was the only nail polish you ever got to wear besides just a regular French white, you know, manicure type. This is a gel manicure, so it's actually paint. It's not a manicure. Those are not my actual white nails. It's, you know, y'all know. It's this. It's this color. This is my favorite color ever, and I know it's unconventional to be wearing blue at my age, but I don't care. So there's that. Alright, so I'm going to move on. First, we're going to talk about brushes. Before I even get into brushes, normally you would wrap up with this item, but I'm going to start with this item. Hands down, the best brush cleanser I've ever used, both in the application of it and the way that it works for the brush, as far as not tearing the brush itself up, is this IT Cosmetics Brush Bath. It is a purifying brush cleanser. You do not have to shampoo your brushes when you use this. You literally spray this on a paper towel. What I do is I put down a towel, and then I put a paper towel over it so it's gathering any additional moisture underneath, because you want to keep using it over and over and over. But you literally spray over the towel. You spray the brush, and then on the paper towel, you take the brush, and you just swirl it around. So you actually spray the brush down onto the brush, and try to have something underneath it, because this is, you know, it's going to fan out on your, I would do it on your bathroom counter. And then you just literally swirl it around like that on the paper towel, both directions, back and forth, and you'll start noticing real quick. I'm just going to do it. This needs cleaning real bad. This is my favorite foundation brush. It is the Velvet Luxe 301 Buffing Foundation Brush by It Cosmetics, and I love it, but it is dirty. And I really noticed that when I use this foundation, which is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, which everybody talks about how great it is. It is heavy coverage. I think people even say this is medium coverage. This is heavy coverage, and my brush told the story. Because it was just, the fibers were different, I mean the little hairs were different after it, and I think it's because that is just so heavy. So what you do, I do have a towel here. I don't have a paper towel, but I gotta wash this towel anyway. So what you do, I'm holding this over that, is you spray down into the brush, like that. That's all you need, a couple of sprays. And then you do this. You start just swirling in 2 different directions. Not too much pressure, because you don't want to overdo it on, amazing. Look how clean. It's just, it's amazing. Then go on a different part of the towel, where you just got that off. I'm going to do it down here now. A couple of different directions. And then I always do this just to kind of tap out any extra fibers that may have got down in there, and reshape the brush. And then I go up to reshape the brush. Look. Is that the best ever? And then always lay the brush down on the side. Some people lay it that way. I guess you could. The main thing is you don't want to ever do it that way. This really isn't a good way to store your brushes. For storage, if you're traveling, that would be fine. But really, you should lay them down. And the reason is this is sitting in the air. It's collecting the air's dust. And that's not good. So usually, before I even start, I always go. And that's just to kind of get the air